the coaches then declared enough is enough right across the spectrum. Two of those coaches are with us tonight. Over in the West, Adam Simpson. Simmo, great to have you back on this program.
Hey, guys.
And Ross Lyons with us in the studio. Ross, welcome.
Pleasure to be here.
And Adam, this was an idea that emanated out of your club. Did you feel like it hit the right mark?
Oh, yeah, for such a short turnaround as well, to get everyone together like that, knowing that every club has a different sort of theme of the week, and for the AFL to do that, for us all to come together, and I mean, it's just a start, really, isn't it, to put the spotlight on it, and yeah, it's the first step.
Does it raise, I'm just curious, do you think it raises the stakes in how the footy industry deals with the incidents that come up from time to time, which would fall into this genre?
I think theoretically.
All right, we'll tick through our footy issues. So we'll talk the broader picture shortly. But Adam, have you got any answers on an injury front? Do you know what Elliot Yeo's injury is and his likely absence?
I think it's a small groin. We haven't got a scan result back yet, but I mean, he missed a lot of football a few years ago with osteitis. It's not that; it's more of a pulled muscle. So, hoping it's just a 1 to 2 week injury that. Looking at his game this year and how he's been going, there was probably a week off due at some stage just through what he's been through. So hopefully the body just tells us he needs a week off and we can get him back next week.
What is the tension piece between pulling the trigger on when to manage a player or when to keep his flow going, and also maybe the urgency of the match and even the geography of the match?
Well, we haven't had the opportunity the last couple of years to do anything other than play what's available and try and get players up, and quite often playing players who aren't quite ready. So I've just noticed the last couple of years that teams with healthier lists are managing some of their players a bit differently than we were, and yeah, considering our travel and what we have to do, I think it's a no-brainer for us to start to embrace a bit of that. So whether they're, you know, on the older side like Elliot or younger like Harley, I think we've got to be smart about it, and it probably just tells us the game's as brutal as it's ever been, especially for inside mid. So we're not taking the lead on it, but we're definitely starting to follow.
And it felt like there was an unmistakable note of concern in your voice around Noah Long. Does he know yet with the knee?
Yeah. No, for whatever reason, all of our scans are tonight, so we'll find out in the next 24 hours. But we, yeah, hope for the best, but fear about the worst.
It's been a fantastic turnaround, Simmo, in performance and attitude. Do you put it down just to some of your better players playing well? I've heard you speak about getting your senior players back, but at the same time, the performances of some of your younger players and say, for example, Jake Waterman, who's come onto the scene, that can't be underplayed either.
No, I think we're just coming from a long way back, Robbo. I mean, struggling to be competitive is you know, been probably our story the last couple of years. So with a healthier list, our list is a bit different too. There's some work to do on it. We're either pretty old or really young. So that middle group of players, we just don't have enough of those at the moment. So whilst that's happening and the availability was reasonable, we just wanted to start with the basics, which I think every coach does. But the clearances and contests and ground balls and just being competitive has been our start point. And I think last time I was on, we spoke about that. And you can't go to the next step until you get that one right. So for the most part this year, we've been competitive in that area, and that's probably led us to be more competitive on the scoreboard as well. So it's been a small improvement, but we're still a long way to go.
Right, so you've got to fix that group of players, but, you know, 26, 27-year-olds. How aggressive will you be, say, free agency and trade? And do you believe that now you've got a bit something in your hand to go to players, and not cash, a bit of competitiveness to say, hey, we're going places over here, there's a really bright future here, jump on board?
Well, we normally just go after the Western Australians who we didn't draft first, so that probably won't change. But you know, the fact that we're a big club, we're really fortunate. We've got a supporter base that's over 100,000 members. We've got some really good resources, you know, post-football as well. So I think we've always been a reasonably attractive club. In the last couple of years, you probably can't say that's been the case with our performances. So there's got to be some hope there, doesn't there? So I think this year, with this better brand of football, the crowd's turned up. We want to take our members on the journey with us, and hopefully that attracts talent as well.
Small moments in the evolution of young careers, Ross.
I haven't got the numbers.
bit of art of coaching, Adam. Once you saw the Jamie Cripps infringement that leads to the reversal, what did you do with it?
Oh, look, it moves so quick, you've got to get on with the rest of the quarter. No one's more disappointed than Cripper. So, yeah, out of character, to be honest. Disappointing. I think that would have put us within 4 points. So, yeah, not much you can do in the hindsight. It's not a pattern behaviour. So, and he's pretty experienced, so he's pretty hard on himself.
So is there a sharp word from you to him, or you don't do that anymore?
Disappointed dad.
Yeah.
Jared, yeah, to be honest, I just saw him today very briefly. I just asked him how he was holding up. And strangely enough, you do have anger towards it all, but the criticism and the social media and everything that comes from external is probably harsher than what you get on the internal these days. And trying to look after these players' mindset is really important, and I didn't think it was the right moment to do that today.
And then cajoling players back to form.
Do you ban players from social media?
No. I have a laugh with them. No, not at all. Because the first thing, Adam can talk to it, the phones and your own club promotes a lot of social media content, and they want to do rap songs and they want to... So it's all part of the gig. But you can't hide from it. You can turn it off, but isn't it what makes it great? If it was easy, as Dennis would say, everyone would be doing it.
I think there is a line though with some of the abuse from not expert commentary in the football parts. It's all there for all of us to understand and consume, but the private stuff, the online abuse some of our players have received this year, it's probably gone up to another level, to the point where you need to get the police involved. We need to keep that in check as an industry, because that's definitely not getting better. So, you know, I'm not sure the answer to that, because you can't get them off their phones, but trying to support our players in that space has become a big part of our jobs.
Okay. Adam Simpson and Ross Lyon are with us on Coaches Night. We'll keep this conversation going in a moment. And then in the NFL, they'd call it route running. How much of this do you reckon could be designed, and how much is intuition?
Adam can talk. He's had Nat Nui and they had set plays, but I think it's certainly get on the move, movement. It's all or nothing play, and I think there was a Carlton fumble in there, and that's why I don't go backwards in the surge. There he is. So, and Walsh lost him, I think.
Yeah,
indeed. It's a very difficult situation. Fatigue, 100 minutes, everyone's exhausted. So what a special goal.
How much goes into a moment like that, Adam?
Well, it's sort of, you do have your set plans, and but the game on the line, the freedom to play on instinct probably takes over for players like that. So, yeah, we haven't had probably the ruck dominance since Nick, but when you sort of know where the ball's sort of heading, you let talent take over, and, you know, obviously Carlton would regret the balance of that stoppage, but talent takes over in those plays.
How much of your planning goes into Nick Dacos as you contemplate them on Sunday?
I haven't started yet. Sort of hoping there's a tight calf halfway through the week. That's the first plan. But no, I'm not sure. We don't have a specific run with player that we're working on some of our players to develop in that role. So we might explore that. He's been very hard to stop traditionally, so it's a tough one.
Harley Reid, I was watching him on the weekend when he limped off. I thought, oh no, the young fella, he only rested him the week before. But he came back on the ground. What was the report afterwards? Simmo?
Cramp. So he's still learning a lot about his body. Another full pre-season, or a full pre-season, is going to do him the world of good. So what he's producing now off his raw talent and his ability to take the game on, we all love. But this is the start. So, you know, once that fitness base builds, he'll get a bit more ball in transition and he'll start connecting in different ways. But at this stage, you know, that's the reason why we managed him last week. His body's not quite where his mind is at the moment. So, and he plays a position that's so draining as well. So we'll keep working on him on his fitness, but we're loving what we're seeing when he's out there.
Sorry if you've been asked this before, but I don't get you all your press conferences over there in Perth. Has he given you, as coach, any indication about his want for a long-term future at West Coast, or is it steady as she goes, we'll deal with that down the track?
We haven't really spoken about it, Robbo. I mean, it's 7 games in. I know it's a big talking point, and you hear rumours and innuendo, but for a kid, he's 19, he's playing his 7th game. We're talking about 20 million over 10 years.
Yeah.
It's probably not something that we're talking about at the moment. So just trying to keep the kid to enjoying his game, enjoying football, enjoying being an AFL player. And I think, you know, that's where we're at the moment. We'll work on that as we go. Constant conversations are happening, but probably not through me.
Holding the ball.